in the morning going, got home. Oh man, I got a little TJ Felony true story for everybody. It's actually gonna be kind of like a tutorial video, okay? Uh, I've been dreading this. Dude, I don't. If I when I get bills in the mail, and this is kind of like a poor people problem. If I don't have money to pay them, I don't even open them. Like I just either throw them away or they just pile up and I throw them away. But you recognize when you get the one, because the one usually has red on it, and that's the disconnect one. That's the one where like you have to pay attention to it, or you hear ruckus outside one day and your shit's getting shut off. Um, and I want to do a little bit of a tutorial because I had to go through this today. I was dreading it, and I just checked the date on it. I didn't even fucking look to see how much it was, and it's a utility bill, and this advice is gonna work with electric bills, utility bills. It doesn't matter. This is my garbage and water bill. It's city utilities altogether, and I moved from a little apartment into my own house here, and dude, I'm overloaded in bills. I can't really afford this place on my own. So I've been falling behind on bills. And I had just been ignoring my garbage and water bill, and I had gotten the one, I had the red envelope where like they're about to shut your shit off. So I'm gonna give a little bit of a tutorial here. This works, like I said, electric bills, utility bills, and this is the type of shit like I'm trying to teach my sister, cause like these are how you live as a poor person without going insane. There's like little life hacks and things that you can tricks I've learned along the way. Cause I've been poor my whole life. Like I was born to be poor. My family's poor. My grandparents have money, but that's about it. Uh, so when you get that disconnect notice, okay, and your thing in your world's coming to an end, and it might sound kind of funny, like this is haha joke, but dude, I'm telling you, if you pay attention to what I'm telling you, this advice could really help you out at some point. So you get the date, and like they're about to shut my shit off. Uh, the disconnect date is important because some of these things will not work after the disconnect date, because a lot of times they don't cut you off on the disconnect date. It takes a few days to get around to it. You get put on the list, but you're at the bottom of the list. um, so you want to do this before the disconnect date if possible, or on it the day before. The day before is preferred. uh, so you have a disconnect notice for your electric, your water, whatever. Don't panic, don't freak out. Like, it's not. There are ways to handle this, and most of these companies, like these electric utility companies, they don't want to disconnect people. Like they really don't, because they want to just keep you stringing along, paying your bill barely afloat. Uh, so if you call these places, like the electric bill or the city utility company, n- this works 90% of the time. I'm going to say this works, okay? And there's a few things that have to happen for it to go real smoothly. Number one is you got to get lucky with who you get on the phone. Because you're probably going to get put on hold, and it's going to be the corny music playing. And some of these people, like, how it is. It's the same in any field industry, the restaurant industry. There's some people that shouldn't be doing that job, that just like screwing people over, and you don't want to get one of them. But if you're lucky enough to get, average or a nice person, you want a real friendly person to answer. That's number one. Number two is you just be real about it. You tell them, like, look, I'm due for disconnect tomorrow. I'm calling, and I just want to find out what I can do to avoid disconnection. Don't lie. Don't make up any elaborate stories. Just be straight up with them. And 9 times out of 10, they will set you up with some kind of extension plan. And she asked me, like, well, when can you pay it? And it's like, well, I was hoping to move it to not this Friday, but the Friday after when I get paid. And dude, no problem at all. Yeah, that's fine. I'll put it in your chart. And dude, my disconnect date was like tomorrow. and it just bought me 2 weeks. And pretty much anyone will, any of these electric companies, utilities companies, they'll do this if you are straight up and genuine with them, and they have like a leave period where they're, the people, the operators, and they're allowed to kind of work with you, but it it's their discretion. So the last thing you want to do is be rude with anyone. You want to be friendly and sympathetic. You don't want to sound like a low life, like desperate. You just want to be straight up with them. Like, look, I know I'm due for disconnect tomorrow. What can I pay? A lot of times they'll give you some like, well, if you can pay, you know, say you owe $450. They'll be like, well, if you can pay 100 today, then we'll break up the rest on your next payments. There's always ways around this stuff where a lot of people will just let the stress of that disconnect notice like almost paralyze them. And there are ways to maneuver it and keep your ship from getting cut off. And when I said 90% of the times this works, is the 10% when this won't work is if you're already past your disconnect date. Sometimes their hands are tied, and it's like it's already locked in the system that I can't go in and change it. And the other time this stuff will not work is if you're already on an extension. Like, you can't call and be like, I know I'm due for a disconnect. Can I get, I get paid next week. Can I get an extension? When you're already on an extension from 2 weeks ago. That won't work. You can't get an extension on an extension. But yeah, like 9 times out of 10, these companies, these electric companies, utilities companies will go pretty far to help you out if you're straightforward, honest, and just show a little bit of humility. Like they will. Like I just said, I was due for disconnect. I think either today or tomorrow, and she was just straight up asking me like, well, when do you think you can either pay it or a good amount of it? And dude, it was real simple. It wasn't, she didn't shame me. And that's usually how it goes. Where a lot of people will look at that as like, and this is advice where I think more people are gonna be in these situations than ever before with, Trump's e economically fucked America. Um, a lot of people that have never been in this situation are gonna be in these situations. And yeah, it's advice that always works, or is, 9 times out of 10, 10 works. And um, like I said, you just got to be humble, straight up, and they'll move things around for you. They'll extend it out. The main keys are, don't wait until after your disconnect notice. You want to call before your disconnect notice, okay? Be honest, just be straight up with them, and don't ever. You're not gonna get anywhere being rude with people, like calling and bitching about how much the bill is and stuff, dude. You will not get anywhere with that crap. It, like the goal is to make that person on the phone want to help you out. Like make them be like, "Oh, this guy sounds alright. Like I want to do what I can for him." And that's all it really is. Like this is such important stuff that I don't think the younger generations are either get taught or they're really timid with doing. Like, they would it's you have to learn how to communicate. It's so important. So important, because I could have just got all. I don't have the money to pay that shit. My water would have got cut off tomorrow. But I could have just, been upset about it. You know what I would have done? And that's why I'm streaming right now and I'm in a good mood, is because I just got off the phone with him, and I was gonna be like, oh fuck, I gotta go hustling now and come up with this money because my shit's about to get shut off. Like that's where what I do when I'm in that situation is I gotta go hustle. Now, like, hustling can be, like, I'm not even gonna go into details, but it's like you gotta go get that money, right? Like, you can't let your house get taken away, your electric get shut off. You gotta go get that money. It's just part of life. But a lot of people will get that disconnect notice, and they'll let that date kind of just and it's stress, man. The stress of being financially unstable is I wealthy people don't understand what it's like to live, and that's why I think these guys' life expectancy, heart attacks and stroke, and just your whole life thinking about bills. How am I gonna pay these bills? It's no way to live. And yeah, it'd be nice to one day to be able to get out from under it, but I've learned how to live like that. Like it doesn't stress me out. I got like $8 to my name right now, but nothing's getting shut off. I have food. I've got pop, cigarettes, so I'm good, right? I'm good. I got my Zanny cat. She's got cat food. I got video games to play. We'll be good.